You said you hadn't been getting much sleep. What have these past couple days been like for you?
I think our staff's been here, 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, just working around the clock. And, I was trying to get the roster right. They've done almost just under 1,000 evaluations, which is a ton of evaluations of guys across the league. It just helps us make the most informed decision. So, our pro scouts have done such a great job. But, trying to manage the cuts, work with Coach Rule on what the roster is going to look like, just going through every scenario, what else is out there. It's a lot of work, and it's a busy time of year for us.
When we last talked to you, I don't know, May, April, not last, but you were talking about how you wanted to build this department and be able to write more evaluations
Right.
and whatnot. Have you guys gotten there, and this was the goal?
Yeah, I think we were so much more ahead this year. You're not racing to watch tape on a guy that got cut. You already know what the answer is. The scouts have conviction on him. We're going to watch him. If we think it's a fit and someone that can help us and upgrade. So that's why we're being more proactive than reactive as a staff.
Scott, there's a rumor going around that you guys are receiving calls on Terrace and Robbie.
Yeah.
So is it the general consensus that those guys are going to stay put, and it may be another wide receiver that you guys are hearing?
No, as of right now, they're here. I talked to Robbie about that. I saw that there's I think it was a tweet or something. Talked to the agent as well. I think this time of year we talk to a lot of teams about a lot of scenarios and names get thrown out, and just the way we operate, we'll listen to anything. We'll include anyone if the right offer is there and can really benefit the Panthers. It's the right move. But no, there was nothing about that as far as us trying to go out and trade him. Robbie's here and Terrace is here.
With Baker, what we've seen here during the preseason seems to be a guy that's very, I used the word earlier, mature. Has he changed from what you saw the last 2 or 3, 4 years in Cleveland, and you think that the process he went through, battling for the job, and what happened to him last year?
Yeah, it's hard to know what he was like in the past. Yeah, I met him when he was coming out, but he was going to be a top pick, so we never really spent any time with him. The Baker I know is from when he got here on, and a little bit over the summer, the couple of weeks we had a chance to talk to him. He's been extremely mature. He's been humble. He's worked hard. I think you can see how the teammates gravitate towards him, that it's a good thing. And he's been just a total pro since he's been here.
Have you had a player in the past that's been humbled, that was kind of a little out there a little bit, that's been humbled and changed?
Yeah, I think you see it a lot of times. I know in Seattle we had several players that were high picks that came in. Guys mature. When you hit 24, 25, you get married, your priorities change. I think anybody's like that in life, and it's just what you do going forward from now forward for him. But he's been awesome since he's been here.
With you guys putting Sam on IR, will the plan be just to have two quarterbacks on the active?
Right. So we were going to have 3 going into the season. We had talked about that multiple times. Unfortunately, due to Sam's injury, that's changed. We've gone to 2. We'll carry another position player in that place. Then with Sam, that'll be official today. I talked to Sam this morning, let him know that we're going to actually make that official, and so he'll miss the first 4 games.
And just to be clear, PJ will be that number 2.
PJ is the number 2.
Sounds like there's optimism it'll only be 4 weeks that Sam's out.
Yeah, it's an ankle. He's still in a boot right now, so we'll see how it responds. But we're going to get him back as quick as we can.
Stay on the subject of quarterback injuries. You've said your job as a GM is to have one foot in the present, one in the future. When you learned of Matt Corral's injury, the seriousness of it, just first your initial reaction, and then what does that do in your long-term planning if you're able to go that way?
I think the initial reaction is he felt bad for Matt because he's such a competitor. You know how he's wired and how much this means to him. And you bring in Baker, he's in here, he's competing, you think he's going to play, and then all of a sudden something unforeseen happens to him and he's going to miss his rookie year. That's hard for anyone. But we're going to keep him very engaged in the process. He'll be in all the meetings. He's going to have an earpiece on in practice. He can't participate, but he's going to use this as a growth year learning-wise.
And he sounds like he's still very much part of the plans in the future.
Very much, very much. I sent him a text the other night. He was up in Green Bay, just had surgery. He's coming back, and he can't wait to get back here and get around the guys.
What day was his surgery?
He did have surgery, yeah.
You know what day it was?
A couple days ago. I think it was either yesterday or the day before.
Dr. Anderson.
Yeah, it was Dr. Anderson.
Carrying 7 receivers on the roster right now, what's the philosophy behind that, and kind of do you see that continuing? What do you like about Jordan right now?
You know, I think it's such a strong group that we are going to carry 7 receivers. You know, Andre's our specialist. He's our return guy. And so he is a part of the receiver group, but his main focus is on returns. You know, we went out and we got Laviska to add to it and didn't really plan on that, but to add someone that is so unique and so different to our group, we couldn't pass on the opportunity. So that's why we went out and got another receiver.
What is it about him? Like you said, you didn't plan on it, but why? Why him?
You know, we all liked him coming out of college. You can see it on tape in the NFL. He's proven, you know, he's so physical after the catch. He can run you over. He's an extension of the run game as far as blocking downfield. You can use him out of the backfield. He's just a different player than what we have on our roster. And, you know, we have a lot of talented guys that can get vertical. He's a guy that can get the ball in his hands quick, and he can run you over, fight for that first down.
We heard from you in Wofford, and you said the hope was you'd bring another edge rusher in, and you guys hadn't done that yet.
Right.
I think you only have 4 on the active. Are you
Right.
okay with that group, or does that still feel a little thin?
I think we're going to be active there. We're going to keep looking. We were impressed with Barnard. You know, his progress, you know, in camp. He does a lot of things naturally with not just speed, but he's got the inside move, and he's got so much bend to him. So he's got a ton of upside. We like the guys we have here, but we'll probably add one more player. We'll look to do that. We just can't force it. We're going to, but we are keeping our eye open
Could
for it.
that be the other move today when you IR Sam?
Sam is for Pinheiro.
Okay.
We're gonna sign Pinheiro for in that spot.
Have you talked to Baker or had a discussion about when you might want to discuss long-term deal, or is that something that's got to play out to the end of the year? Or?
No, I think we told his agent at one point, hey, listen, let's just get through the year here. Let's get late in the year. Let's evaluate how he's playing, and we'll address that down the road.
When is Barnard? When do you think Barnard will be back?
I think he's going to be right there, right around the first game, hopefully. You know, we'll return to play, see how he responds, and then it'll be right around that time.
And then a bunch of D tackles, 6 of them, I think, is the plan to keep all 6.
Right. Right now we look at Davion as a guy that can play kind of the end and tackle. It's a talented group, you know, and we wanted to keep our best 53. And I said eventually we'll get our roster right, the numbers right, but we want to hold our best 53 until as long as we can.
Thoughts on McCall and then also Jacob Eason?
Yeah, McCall's done a really nice job. Like, really, you can see the power. He's getting pushed inside. He's very disruptive. He's a really good, young, talented guy. It was a great find by our scouts, you know, as a free agent. And then the other one was
Jacob Eason.
Yeah, so he's going through, he's finishing his physical right now. If all goes well, we'll sign him to the practice squad. Talked to the guys in Seattle about him. He did a nice job up there, was working hard, tremendous arm, good size. Matt Rule actually liked him. He asked me a few days ago about him, you know, if I thought he'd, you know, pop free. I didn't think so. And then when his name came out, he asked me again. John Schneider called down, recommended him. And so we're going to sign him to the practice squad.
Can he learn install? Can he learn the offense as he's running the practice squad? Or
Oh,
is
yeah.
that-
Yeah. I mean, he'll be in meetings. He may not get the reps on the field. I mean, we're trying to get, you know, Baker as many reps as possible. PJ's going to need those reps, but we'll get him some reps out there. We just want to really evaluate the traits and the talent and see what he is.
Could you explain the rationale on the number of tackles that you guys kept? You were probably in a spot where you could have unloaded a guy or perhaps for a pick, but you guys now have depth at a position that you didn't.
You talking about offense tackle or
Yes,
defense?
yeah, offensive tackle.
So offensive tackles, what helps is the versatility of guys. You know, you have Corbett who can play tackle in a pinch. You have Brady Christensen, Cade Mays who can play, you know, all the spots. He's played tackle, he's played center, he's played guard. Corbett, like I said, tackle, he could also play center. That versatility of those 9 allowed us to move, you know, Dennis. Dennis is a big, athletic, talented guy. And that kind of just came to us on that one. So we made the move. You know, we may add a tackle to the practice squad, you know, to develop. But we like our 9 that we have.
What do you envision Cam Irvin's role being this year?
Cam's a really important backup for us because he can play both tackles. He can play center. He's snapped in NFL games, started. So his versatility is what's really important to us.
Yes, you saw Russell's contract today.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of big contracts over this offseason. What's that for you guys mean moving forward, since you may have to make a decision on whether?
I sure hope we do. I mean, guys are playing well. We'll just have to see what the market is at that point, and what's right for us and what's right for the players that are involved.
You think that the market's at the right place now? You think it's gotten a little out of whack, or?
There's been a couple good quarterbacks signed, so it's pretty high. But it's a nice problem for those teams to have. When you have one, we'll just see what it looks like for us when we get there.
Scott, how big a role will you have with Matt in sort of coming up with Christian's in-season plan?
I think Nandra Althoff, Matt, Rob Panarello, those will be the guys to help decide how many reps he takes in practice and in the games. I might know of it. That's not my expertise. We'll let the experts make those decisions.
What
Was
do
the
you think?
addition of Chenault a way to kind of manage that a little bit? Sell him?
That's a good question, because we can use him in some of those roles. But when we made the move, that wasn't the reason why. It was just a different skill set.